Now, back to Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on CL 650.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. Everybody's waving at me. I'm going as quickly as I can. And I'll tell you what, some guy just showed up and brought like my favorite wine. I just love this wine. Michel Couttolenc, welcome back to the show. You're from Errazuriz.
Exactly, yeah.
And you brought the Aconcagua Costa Sauvignon Blanc. This wine is just an amazing wine. It always has been. I've been trying to get this wine sold widely in BC for 10 years. Doesn't matter what I say, nobody would take the bit, and now it's back. Are we going to get this wine like in stores everywhere? Or are you going to push it?
Finally, this wine is available here in Vancouver.
It's such an amazing wine.
It's a beautiful wine from Aconcagua Costa.
Yeah.
It's 100% Sauvignon Blanc.
I'm keeping this bottle. Nobody else is having it. Thank you very much.
And it's limited. The quantities that we produce of this wine is very, very small. We're talking about 4,000 cases for the world. And it's coming from a new appellation from Chile that is the Aconcagua Costa.
Which is roughly what, about how many kilometers from the ocean, from the cold Pacific Ocean?
We're talking about 140 kilometers to the north of Santiago de Chile.
Yeah. But not many from
close to the ocean. We're talking about 11 kilometers from the ocean. Then
that's all.
This Sauvignon Blanc is coming from a cool climate.
Yeah.
And the wonderful thing about this Sauvignon Blanc is that they have passion fruit on the nose, but also a beautiful minerality that is a very elegant Sauvignon Blanc.
Crazy wine.
And there's a snail on the label. It's a beautiful label.
It's a beautiful label. It looked like it was handmade. It's a beautiful label, and the wine is spectacular. And of course, this Aconcagua Costa appellation is becoming a very famous appellation in Chile. It's maybe one of the last appellations that we're going to see, new appellations that we're going to see in Chile.
Yeah. And I was there when they opened the appellation. It was so much fun.
Exactly.
When the property opened, and we had the best time for a couple of days, tasting all kinds of wines. I came home and said, that wine's unbelievable. And anyway, you know, when you taste this wine, Casey, and I'm glad you said guava and passion fruit, because when you smell the wine, you might think that wine may possibly be from New Zealand. Maybe,
I know.
if you were doing it blind.
You're right.
But when you taste the wine, you might think the wine is from Sancerre, because the structure is completely different. There's no bitterness underneath. There's a lot of minerality. There's freshness and roundness, and it's a completely different wine in the mouth.
And also, it's important to mention the acidity. This wine is medium acidity. It's not like a high acidity.
Yeah, it's not searing, no.
No, it's a medium acidity. It means that the wine is very, very easy to drink, very fresh. And also, it's important to talk about the alcohol of this wine. A lot of Sauvignon Blanc from Chile, they are very high in alcohol. Even some of them, they can be 14.5.
Yeah.
This one is below 13. Yeah. Then it's a beautiful Sauvignon Blanc. And some people, yes, you're right, they think that is a French Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, you work for a very easy guy, Eduardo Chadwick. He's a very lazy guy. He hardly does anything, right? You do all the work. Eduardo Chadwick, by the way, for people who don't know, Aconcagua is the highest mountain in South America.
South America. We're talking about a mountain of almost 5,000 meters under sea level.
Which is over 15,000 feet. And Eduardo climbed that mountain a few years ago.
It was 10 years ago with a ball of... It was amazing. He took a picture with on the top of the mountain with a bottle of Don Maximiano.
Yeah.
The Maximiano was
become a very famous picture.
The best wine that we have in Errazuriz, and became that very famous picture of Errazuriz.
And I asked him why he climbed that mountain. He said, "You know, I lived here my whole life. This mountain is a part of me, and it's a part of my vineyard, and you know the way that the vineyard sits." He said, I had to climb it.
And how high is it?
How far?
15,000 feet.
Oh my goodness.
No,
You
it's,
can't breathe at the top.
It's amazing. It's a real adventure to go there.
Michel
Yes.
and I, we both started climbing. We stopped at about 100 meters.
Yeah, I'll
and we
bet.
said, yeah, let's have some Sauvignon.
There is beautiful seafood in Chile.
Beautiful seafood. I have to say the oysters of Chile are amazing. What else they have? They have good shrimps. They have a king crab that is beautiful.
Yes.
King crab.
I was blown away by it.
Sort of razor clams or...
It's kind of a king crab that is coming from the south of Chile. It's from cold water.
Yes,
Then
yes.
the flavor of the king crab is an incredible flavor.
So it's like Alaska king crab.
It's kind of, but the flavor has
Different.
more stronger flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chile's been really at the forefront of exploring like new appellations, talking about where their wines come from. You set up a new structure, which I think is pretty cool, sort of dividing the wines in the distance they are from the ocean or from the Andes, and wines in between. Has it been successful with consumers, or
Has been very successful, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
better for people to know generally where those wines come from, I think?
Yeah, it's important to talk about, in Chile, about the appellations. It's important to talk about where the wines are coming. In this case, we're tasting a wine that is coming from Aconcagua Costa, that is in the north of Chile. In Chile, we have to remember that north is warm. We have the desert, the Atacama Desert in the north, and the glaciers in the south.
Yeah.
Then that's very, very important. And it's a very different wine, a Sauvignon Blanc that is coming from Maipo or Colchagua, that is in the south, than a wine that is coming from the north.
And the
climate.
difference is?
The difference, you have different nose, different expression, different acidity, different alcohol level. It's a completely different, they're completely different wines. It's like to compare a wine from Bordeaux and a wine from Burgundy. It's very, very different. It changed a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's a delicious Sauvignon Blanc. Currently available, or this is the new vintage? Is it here yet, or
it's here? Yes, it's available. Even here at the wine show, you can have a few bottles of wine.
Any idea about what the price is?
Yes, $22 a bottle.
$22.
Yes.
Very good. Nice.
And it's coming in a screw cab.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful.
That was a bit of a fight, but we got that done.
Are they using screw caps in Chile a lot more now?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the country?
Believe it or not, Errazuriz was the first winery from Chile to use screw cap in Canada.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. We're talking about almost 13 years ago.
Yes.
And I remember that we have a meeting with the boards, and it was a little bit of...
everybody was worried.
Everybody was concerned about the future of these wines.
Yes.
You see, today is a reality.
Yes.
For Sauvignon Blanc is a good help, for Pinot Noir, for Chardonnay. And this wine is coming in screw cap.
Our guest is Michel Couttolenc, and we're talking about the Errazuriz winery in Chile. I always tell a great story about the original name for Errazuriz, which was
Errazuriz Panquehue.
Errazuriz Panquehue, a name that no one could ever pronounce. And they told me they changed the name of the winery and they dropped Panquehue and kept Errazuriz. And I thought, oh boy, good luck with that.
And you know that Errazuriz is a Basque name. It's a Spanish name.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not an easy to pronounce.
No.
It's 2 R's. And in Spanish we say Errazuriz.
Oh, we
You
can't
have to
say that. Yes.
Errazuriz.
Yeah. But it worked out.
It worked out, yes.
Yeah. So you, what are you pouring at the booth? You have other wines as well? People come by and see you?
We have a Syrah Max Reserva, we have a Cabernet Max Reserva, and we have a Don Maximiano.
Okay. Hey, before you go, because I'm getting letters from my readers, you have a new wine in the market, a new Cabernet. And everybody's asking me, well, what is this wine? Can you explain a little bit about the Max? The
Max Cab?
Yeah, the Max Cab. Versus the Don Max and the...
Yeah, no, the big difference of this wine, this is a wine that is a single vineyard.
Okay.
From Aconcagua. We made very, very small production again for this wine. But the big difference between the Cab Max Reserva, Cabernet Max Reserva, and the Cab Max is that the Cab Max is a single vineyard. We have a higher selection, a better selection of grapes, and that's the main difference.
Okay.
The blend is more or less the same. Sometimes we use Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc, but it's more or less the same of the Cabernet Matrancero. But the big difference is the quality of the grape. And the wine has been very successful here in BC. Very successful.
Yeah,
And of course, I have to mention the label. The label is a piece of art.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful label.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I want to see that label.
Yeah. You can see it in the liquor store.
Yes, it's a Max.
It's widely available.
Max.
Max, that's the name of the wine, Max.
Yeah.
And it's coming, of course, from the name of the founder of Errazuriz, that he was a Spanish gentleman, with the name of Don Maximiano.
Right.
Decent polo player.
Exactly.
Michel, always great to catch up with you. Things have changed a lot in Chile in terms of touring. A lot more Canadians are going there and visiting wineries.
It's amazing.
You can visit Errazuriz.
We are
It's a
always
long way
open
out,
during
but
the year. We
yeah.
are completely open. We have a wonderful website. You can go to the website, errazuriz.com, and you can apply. You can send us an email, and the doors of Errazuriz are always open.
Yeah.
We have
Wineries are beautiful in
they're
Chile.
beautiful. We have a beautiful terroir. We have lunch. We can offer a lunch. We can offer a tasting, a tour to the winery.
Yeah.
Then
Climb up the hill.
climb to the highway, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, you can meet Mr. Chadwick also.
Yeah. You'd be very lucky. Michel, great to catch up with you.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thanks for bringing such a delicious bottle of wine. This is the 2015 Aconcagua Costa Sauvignon Blanc from Errazuriz, under screw cap, $22 a bottle. Widely available now, finally. We love this wine. Super.
I'm so happy that you enjoyed this bottle of wine.
This wine was made for Vancouver.
Yes.
And, the seafood that's available here.
With oysters, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Michel,
you.
have a great show. Enjoy the city.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Before you go home to 40 below and snow or whatever it is that's going on back there in the eastern Canada.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michel Couttolenc, he's Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Errazuriz. He's joined us here on the floor of the Vancouver International Wine Festival, edition number 35. We're going to take a quick break, but before we wrap up for the night, we have one of the most interesting Italians in the room joining us. Stick around. You're listening to the Best of Food and Wine.
This is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on CL 650.